Hey everyone, I'm Becky,
I'm Sarah.
and we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we are talking about Afterlife, which is two separate words. I keep going back and forth. Is it one word? Is it two words? It's two separate words.
Well, it makes sense that it would be afterlife.
Right. Well, then I'm like, but is it? Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Doesn't Afterlife by Gayle Forman, which originally I got an eARC of this off of NetGalley, and I did not have time to read it because January was insane. So I ended up listening to it off of Libby.
See, and I just got the arc off of NetGalley.
So this book is about Amber, and it's like a average day for Amber. She's riding her bike home from school, and she goes into her house, and the house is empty. And she's like, "This is weird. Like the cat's even gone. What's going on?" And she hears a car pull up, and she goes outside, and her mom's in the car with somebody she doesn't recognize. And mom starts screaming because guess what? Amber was killed 7 years ago. And she's back, and she's trying to figure out what's going on with her family and why she's back. And her like superstar wrestler boyfriend now looks kind of like a drug addict. Her little sister is the one she didn't recognize because she's no longer 10, she's 17. And her parents seem to be separated. And she has no idea what's going on, and nobody knows exactly what's happening. And that's basically the book.
This book felt like Noggin, only not as good.
Like what? Oh, Noggin.
Noggin. It felt like Noggin, only not as good. Right? Because that was he would like the head separated and he came back
Love
years later.
Noggin.
Yeah,
Love
it
Noggin.
it was basically Noggin, only like not as good.
My favorite part of
It is.
Noggin is when he gets home and he turns his computer on and it takes like 3 days to do all the updates. Like
Oh.
that stuck with me. Like I love Noggin.
Anyway, sorry, but that's what
I did
I
not love
remember.
Afterlife.
Yeah, no. And I think part of it is because I didn't love the main character. I didn't love Amber. And I think it's because she constantly says like I was such a jerk during life. Like I why do you care? And I'm like, no, but like seriously, she was kind of a jerk. And like she doesn't do anything different in her afterlife that like makes her any better. And like the sister is constantly like, no, I mean, I could see your goodness even through the badness. And it's like, nah, she was a jerk to you, bro.
It was
Like,
horrible. Well, and I think that's like part of the problem, right? Like you don't like to hear. First of all, the book is like 270 pages long. So you don't get to know anybody. Like I don't know anything about Amber. I don't know anything about Calvin. I don't know anything about all these other characters. It's very like we're going to tell you, not show you.
well, and like most of the characters are pretty terrible that you're like,
Everybody's horrible.
why do we like
The
Calvin?
little
Like,
sister is the only good character. The
what?
only one, the little sister is the only one that's
Yes.
not a
I
horrible
know,
person.
she was the only one I liked. I don't know. And as we were reading it, you and I were texting, and one of the things you said was like it felt like a just one day kind of if I stay book, only it hasn't aged with the times. And I agree. Like I think that's the problem is
Right.
yeah, it would totally vibe with those books, but that's not where we are anymore as a society. Like we're in a different place and I think the writing needs to be different.
Well, and it just, cause like more than once I'm like, when is this based? Because like the dialogue feels dated. The characters, because we were just talking about this. Okay, so the main character's name is Amber, and sometimes, and so she's supposed to be like, if she'd been killed 7 years ago, she's supposed to be like 24. So you might get somebody born in the late 90s named Amber. But like her mom's name is Gloria. I have never met somebody in their 40s named Gloria. Like the boyfriend's name is Calvin. I've never met, I mean, so there's all of that. But then also like, and I'm not going to go into it, but like the dialogue and the slang feel dated. I was like, is this based like when I was in high school? So
I, to be fair for me, and when we were talking before we started, it didn't get you, but like the Dina was the only character that I found interesting, and the kind of twist with Dina totally shocked me. Like I
see,
really enjoyed that, but
I
you
thought
said
that was like it wasn't obvious right away the twist, but like the like around like the second or third time
no.
there I can't remember what was said. There were two or three things that I'm like, well, that's obvious.
I didn't. No, I didn't pick up on that at all.
So I just
I don't know. It was just, yeah, I
I
don't
read
know.
it in a day and I'm like, oh, well, it means it's a really quick read, but I'm like, no, it's just super short.
I, well, I don't know. And I'm just, yeah,
I just, should we just rate it? Let's just rate it.
yeah, we're gonna have to.
And like I said, it's unfortunate because like I loved If I Stay.
Because like I don't want to trash this book, but I'm having trouble figuring out like where the positives are. And like I said, Dina was the positive for me.
And
Like that storyline and her mom, like those were all really, I really enjoyed that. I did like the Melissa character. So like I think Gayle Forman's really good at can really develop characters, and there were glimmers of that in some of the side characters, but it didn't happen with the main characters.
well, and like I think I finished it and I was like, what was the point? And what's unfortunate is like I remember reading Just One Day. I think I did read that in one day just because it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember like I think like the day that Where She Went came out, I think I went to Target and bought it because the library hadn't gotten copies yet because I wanted to know what happened.
Well, and
And
I think I still come back to I think this is definitely that vibe. And I think if we were still in that time period, this book would be great. But we're not. How many years ago was that written? 20?
If I Stay, oh,
Yeah.
I want to say If I Stay is 15 years old.
So, I mean, we're in a very different place 15 years now, 15 years later. You know what I mean? It just, and you're right. Like, I don't think the story and the writing have evolved with the times.
But I also feel like If I Stay was had a different message. If I Stay, like everything was so much more clear because like you're revisiting Mia's life. But this was like you weren't even really revisiting her life. It was just like these little like you know what it kind of felt like? It felt like The Sun Is Also a Star, but that was just done 100 times better.
It wanted to be that too, like because I usually love books where there's connections, like because like the other point of this book is how like Amber impacted people's lives, even if it was just like a brief moment or like a teacher or you know what I mean. And so it was like how everything's all interconnected, and I love books like that. But this just didn't give me the warm fuzzy vibes like it normally does.
No, let's just rate it. Our rating
Okay.
system starts at the top with 5 unicorns. We go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it is a horse.
I'm two unicorns, like it was not.
Yeah,
And I didn't give it a one just because I finished it, and I finished it pretty quickly. So that's kind of why I give it a two.
that's kind of where I'm at. Like would I this would not be a book that I would be my first to recommend, and I honestly don't think it is circulating very well. I'm like barely a 2. So that is where we are on Afterlife, and we'll see you around. Bye.
Bye.